Ministers have been quick to portray the decision by Nissan to invest in the long-term future of its Sunderland car plant as a vote of confidence in post-Brexit Britain. And to a large extent, that is a quite reasonable assertion. In the run-up to Britain's departure from the EU, those opposed to Brexit like to cite Nissan as a company that would be forced out of the UK unless Britain remained within the Union's single market and customs union. It's true to a point. Nissan, it was argued, was only in the UK because of the access it provided to the European Union and would leave unless frictionless trade continued. And yet, despite agreeing a very different kind of Brexit deal with Brussels, that has not proved to be the case. But they forgot something, but I come to that later. Instead, Nissan will now create 1,600 jobs building a new generation all-electric vehicle that will keep production lines rolling for decades to come. Indeed, it's arguable that the Brexit deal struck last year sped up and incentivized Nissan's decision. Under the Christmas Eve trade deal, all UK cars and parts could continue to be sold tariff and quota-free in the EU as long as the majority of components were sourced domestically or from within Europe. At the moment, because it's a new technology, there is an exemption for imported batteries. However, from 2024, 50% of the material used to make batteries will also have to be sourced domestically or in Europe. This provided a strong incentive for Nissan to align the building of an all-new electric vehicle in the UK with the creation of a new battery factory alongside it. Other firms may make a similar calculation, potentially leading to other significant investments and securing the long-term future of the UK automotive industry. Well, the foreign auto industry in the UK, let's put it that way. Domestic battery production is crucial to the future of Britain's auto industry. Under the terms of Britain's exit from the European Union, as I said, cars made with imported batteries will be subject to punishing tariffs when exported to the continent in the future. Those tariffs will take effect properly in 2027, only 3 years before Britain will begin banning the sale of new cars powered solely by gasoline or diesel. The Nissan factory in Sunderland exports 70% of its production to the European Union and could not survive without access to that market. And yet there is one question about Nissan's announcement to which we do not have the answer and which has important ramifications for future British industrial policy. Ministers have not denied that to secure the investment, a significant amount of public funds had been committed. But they have refused to say how much. Such subsidies are commonplace when big investments such as this are being negotiated. But the scale of those subsidies and how hard a bargain a company like Nissan can strike depends on the relative strength of their hand versus the government they are negotiating with. And here it is possible that the taxpayer may have lost out. For Boris Johnson, losing Nissan's investment in the UK so soon after Brexit would have been both a symbolic, economic and political disaster. Symbolically, it would have sent a signal that the UK was a less attractive destination outside the EU than it was within, despite government rhetoric. Economically, such a decision would have devastated Sunderland, where Nissan is the largest employer and where thousands more jobs depend on the supply chain. Politically, it would be seen as a betrayal of the so-called Red Wall voters who backed the Tories for the first time in 2019 and have been broadly supportive of Brexit. So while Nissan's decision is certainly a vote of confidence in post-Brexit Britain, it's a valid question to ask how much that vote cost. And the government is not keen to tell us. And there are some other aspects the ones celebrating this do forget. There is a possibility, for certain reasons, that Nissan in the future will lose the access to the EU market from Sunderland. But the numbers that are produced there with the prohibition of gasoline or diesel cars in the UK make it possible that Sunderland will just produce an amount that can be sold in the UK. So it's not that a big risk now to do that. The second part is, can they really produce that much in the UK that it's still allowed to sell to the EU under the rules of origin in the future when all the exceptions are gone, because we still have transition periods for a lot of stuff there. And another part is those subsidies. Do they still apply to the level playing field? There will be a point where they will have to publish how much they put in there. And if those subsidies are too high, there's also a chance that that can end the tariff-free delivery of those cars to the EU. So there's a lot of uncertainties there and a lot of costs involved, definitely. So I wouldn't celebrate that loud. And I'll see you in my next video. Auf Wiedersehen.